right, welcome to Malvern Books. This is I am really excited about tonight. Is the microphone on? Is mic? Okay.
The battery's dying.
The battery's dying. No, we only do that for you. But thank you so much. This is a very special night for us here at Malvern Books. We're really excited about Taylor's book, his first book, Becoming a Virgin, from Action Books. I mean, you know, he hit a home run, got a really great press to publish him, and to celebrate that, we're having a reading by all the staff members here at Malvern Books. We're so lucky to have such talented people working here. And, you know, so if anybody's ever in the store, these people know what they're talking about, you know, when they tell you what to read and stuff like that. So, without further ado, we will get started. And our first reader is Fernando Flores. Fernando is a very talented young man, as I would probably say about all the young men who are reading tonight. And he is he's just one of the most fantastically knowledgeable, fun people to hang around, and he's going to entertain us with some of his prose. Fernando.
Negative burns, and then you have to get out. You know, that's if you never experienced that, you never are, because the projectors are not digital. So the most you can hope for is a power outage now when you're stuck in a bad movie or something. Anyway, I wanted to write all these. I wrote this novella-length story in the fall. That it was a series of digressions, and that's how I pictured every digression, like the negative going up. So anyway, this is from a novella-length story called The Exit and Arrival of B.B. Quasar, which is the story of this migrant worker kid that grows up to be like this big underground avant-garde kind of artist, and this is one of the many digressions in it. So anyway, this is a section from that story. The years following his father's death will be the foggiest in Valdemar's memory, but they would shape the aesthetics he developed as a songwriter and musician in his short-lived but stentorian career. His mother worked full-time 30 minutes east of La Jolla, sewing military uniforms in a factory with questionable safety conditions, and Valdemar learned to spend time at the city library after school. It was there he discovered the works of that master of the jumble genre, the uncategorizable underground writer T.S. Cortada. The first book Valdemar checked out was Cortada's literary debut, a novella entitled Another Gin, 8-Man Charlie, found in the science fiction section of the library. After finishing it, Valdemar looked for other books by Cortada in the card catalog and discovered two others, both in different sections: Horseflesh Immaculate on the horror shelf and Emu Breakfast at 765 Bethlehem Station, which was oddly enough mixed in with the Christian historical fiction. Little was known of T.S. Cortada in those days, and his ace paperback's bio revealed very little, other than he was born in Puerto Rico and presently lived in Oklahoma, making his living as an electrician. Years later, as B.B. Quasar, Valdemar would tell a music journalist that before discovering Cortada, he understood literature to be something slow and exclusively bucolic, didn't quite understand the novel's infinite possibilities. The most influential of Cortada's works in terms of themes and execution was Emu Breakfast at 765 Bethlehem Station. The novel's setting is a small saloon in spaceport Zin 02 on the edge of the 67th and 67th and a half quadrant of Galaxy Exxon Omega. The saloon is named 765 Bethlehem Station, the last locally owned saloon in those parts, where 12 people, neither strangers nor intimate friends, gathered for a meeting. In that first reading, Valdemar was struck by the indoor setting of the novel and the absence of any obvious science fiction theatrics. The entire novel takes place exclusively at the saloon. Aside from a couple of its human employees, no aliens or other characters are introduced. In fact, the 12 people are meeting there precisely because they know business will be slow. A fourth of the way through the novel, after the characters discuss distressing politics of the particular quadrants they each inhabit, the 12 reminisce about the good times of their youth at this old saloon, 765 Bethlehem Station, how it was once an exquisite culinary joint that played a vital part for them in those days. The title is a reference to an incident recounted by the principal character, Sahara Taiga. A few chapters are dedicated to a flashback at the saloon where she meets an ex-lover and they bicker over their shared, undercooked emu breakfast and their final moments as a couple. This incident marked the last time Sahara Taiga was able to generate love before she got it extracted and coagulated into a tiny ball of glowing purple resin in a beaker. Now she can never feel any kind of intimate love, and Sahara Taiga is committed to live her life this way. In an effort to make her tale interactive, Sahara Taiga shows off the beaker and passes it around to the other 11. When it comes back around, the retired Colonel Durango hands it off to Sahara Taiga. The beaker slips, hits the sanded floor, shatters. Everybody gasps and watch as the ball of purple resin shakes itself of the glass shards like a tiny dog and jumps, attaching itself to Sahara Taiga's neck, glowing brighter and brighter, seeping into her bloodstream. At that moment, the universe reaches its maximum stretch and begins to recoil at an accelerated rate. The employees of 765 Bethlehem Station abandon ship, and with the exception of the retired Colonel Durango, so do the others. We discovered that Sahara Taiga's old lover had been amongst the 12. Only through self-morphosis had changed his appearance. He'd been Colonel Durango all along, and he confesses to breaking the beaker on purpose to win back Sahara Taiga's affection. The novel ends with the twist that Sahara Taiga had hallucinated this entire scenario with Colonel Durango, along with the recoiling of the universe after the purple love resin seeped into her body. She finds a pink note on the table from Stitches Nayumbe, in which he apologizes on behalf of the 11 for leaving, but explains that they courteously paid her part of the bill. Sahara Taiga thanks the indifferent employees behind the counter and finally leaves 765 Bethlehem Station 30 minutes before closing time, admitting to herself that she's ready for some kind of love and wonders where the closest place to get a decent emu breakfast might be. Thank you.